Okay. The other news story is kind of interesting. So, as you guys know, Street Fighter 6 is coming out this year. First week of June. I'm stoked for it. As you know, I've played the 2 closed betas. I like the graphics. I like the gameplay. It looks pretty good, right? Everything, it looks like they're heading in the right direction with this game, correct? Well, so far, in Street Fighter 6, we've had very limited access to characters. There's only been a small handful of characters available in those 2 betas that they've done. And people are craving more information. So apparently there was some event, and I don't even know exactly what event it was, but I guess there was some event in Japan where they held some kind of a special thing where people were able to play with the newer characters, such as Blanca, DJ, what was there, Manon, the like ballerina dancer from France, Marissa, who's supposed to be like the big roided Spartan fighter, probably has super armor and interesting combat mechanics. So it's our first exposure to these characters in the game and actually seeing gameplay of them, all right? So I guess what happened was there was an event in Japan. From what I'm to understand, and I could be wrong, basically this event, in Japan they do things very differently. Here in the United States, an event happens, oh my god, it's public, it's fair game. Everyone cover it, everyone talk about it, everyone do everything about it. It's all allowed, correct? Any exposure is good exposure. That seems to be the attitude in America. Or, you know, even in Europe to some extent. Japan, they do things very differently. As we know, I've talked about this over the years. Japan, their culture is a lot different from the rest of the world's. They have this very exclusive style culture where they try to keep things to themselves. And they even, you know, they have this air of almost like, you know, how can I say? Almost like xenophobia. Where they're like, hey, we should have access. We should get everything first. And everyone else gets everything later. Our games are better than yours and all that. That's just kind of the attitude they've ever had. Why do you think you'll get all these rules laid out by a company like Atlas? They'll say, hey, go ahead and play Persona 5. But be sure not to put out this, or this, or we're going to copyright strike you down. And you'll say, oh, okay, I will do a playthrough of Persona 5 based on all the criteria you have told me. And then you'll still get copyright strikes from Atlas Japan. And you'll say, what? But I did everything you said. And then you'll be told, well, that's just our home base in Japan. They do whatever they want. If they feel like they don't want their content out there, they'll strike you anyway. It's like, wait, what? But you laid out ground rules of how to cover your games. I followed the rules and you still acted like I did something wrong when I didn't. Like, I don't understand. That's how a lot of these Japanese-based game developers still are to this day. Case in point, this event happened in Japan. The footage of characters like Blanca, Manon, DJ was released to the internet, okay? But apparently, the footage was supposed to be exclusive paywalled footage. That didn't stop people from immediately ripping it and distributing it all over the internet, okay? What ended up happening was now people are making react videos to it. Oh, look at this new gameplay breakdown of Blanca. Look at this new gameplay of the new character. And guess what Capcom did last night? They struck all the channels down with copyright strikes. Yeah, including bigger style fighting game YouTubers. All got one person got double copyright strikes, and his channel is in jeopardy of being shut down permanently for a third one. Because they decided to react to this content of Street Fighter 6. Yeah. And again, I have to warn people. When you are covering games from a Japanese developer, you don't know what they're going to do because they are not in line with the whole cultural thought process of the rest of the world. If this were a Western game designer, if anyone from the Americas, Canada, Europe, right? Anyone making a game outside of Japan, they likely wouldn't give 2 craps. We're happy for our gameplay to be out there. We're happy for you to break it down. This is free exposure. You're building up free hype for our games. This is excellent. Please go ahead and do it. In Capcom's eyes, you stole our content. You're making money doing all that stuff without permission from us. Strike them down. Does it make sense? Absolutely not. Likely Capcom would have much better reputation if they would just let everyone take that footage and do whatever they wanted with it. This is hyping their game. These are people who were not shitting on it. They were saying, wow, look how the damage output that Blanca can do in this Street Fighter 6. I'll be honest, I didn't even see it. I didn't even get to see it because I knew that it existed. And those channels, the content's already stricken down. It's gone. You can't even see it. So it's just crazy that basically Japan still lives in their own bubble. They really do. They're in their own cultural bubble, separate from the rest of the world. For them, they have certain rules, regulations, laws in place. They don't move. What we have in place is in place. We told you that that footage was only supposed to be for our special event. If you dare rip any of that and put it into your own content, you're getting copyright stricken on YouTube. We don't care. We don't care if it's free publicity. We don't care if you're saying positive things about the game. Get served. That's their mentality, man. And Atlas is the same way. So here's two companies. They're Japanese, based, and this is how they act. They act to the rest of the world. Again, if that's not xenophobic, I don't know what is. The rest of the world is telling you, you guys have great content, great games. We want to talk about it and share it with the rest of the world. No, we didn't specifically give you the legal permission to do so. Strike your ass down. Like, huh? Like, holy shit. That's just crazy. That's how they act. I don't know. It's very odd. Again, rest of the world doesn't care. The rest of the world understood this formula years and years ago, right? Do you know of anyone who is striking down Let's Plays? Do you know of anyone who is striking down promotional videos, character breakdowns? You know what I mean? No one does that. No one. But these companies in Japan, you never know what's going to happen. You can't trust it. That's when people say to me, hey, are you going to play a game from Atlas that came out? Probably not. I can't chance it. I can't chance having my channel shut down because they just decide to copyright claim you constantly. Do they benefit anything from it? No, they don't. They just do it. Just because they can. Again, why? Because we can. Because we have the power to do so. Because we are a great high and mighty game developer. Like, what? What are you talking about? Don't you want people to buy your games? Like, don't you want people to positively talk about your games? No, not without paid permission. Well, what? That's how they are. I'm telling you, I know to us, it doesn't jive. In our minds, we have a logic break there, right? We do. We have a logic break. We don't understand it. In Japan, they don't care. To them, just because they can, they do. Fair use? What the hell is fair use? I've never heard of it. I don't even know what that means. It's my content. Fuck you. Copyright strike. That's how they are, man. Anyway, it is what it is. So anyway, beware. Beware. If Capcom actually puts out a beta, and you have access to the beta, and you play the characters in that, you're okay, right? If you're going to try to repost content from, their own events, you can't. They will not give you permission, and they will strike your ass down, and there's nothing you can do about it. Good luck even disputing it. Because you really think that Capcom is going to release those copyright strikes? No. Absolutely not. Now, do I think that they're going to sue a channel? No, I don't think so either. I think what will happen is these channels will dispute them. And within 2-3 weeks, whatever the time frame is, I think it's 2 weeks, they'll be removed. Because Japan's not going to sue them. They're not going to come after them, right? I mean, what do they have to gain to do a major lawsuit against a YouTube channel that just covers Street Fighter? Nothing. They're not going to get anything out of that. But to them, hey, we temporarily shut them down. We taught them what's what, right? Yeesh. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's do some shout-outs, shall we? I hear a car outside, opening its door. Jasper.